link up with that front three of Jones, Pritchard and Duke, and like you said, absolutely clinical in front of goal views. Cardiff reverting back to their formidable 3-4-3, like you said, Siobhan Walsh back in the centre of defence, Watkins and Bynum offering that balance in midfield, and Eliza Colley leads the line in that front three.
And we're here, and I'm a little bit scrambled and set up. I apologize for that. I'm going to try and get everything going here as we sit and chat, including the scoreboard. Had a wonderful opportunity to do a video with the Welsh Beast, and so I'm looking forward to that one coming out. I tried to update a whole bunch of stuff, and it just didn't work. And So we're going to scramble around and figure it out. And I might end up actually, sorry guys, I'm just going to turn off the webcam for a little bit. I'll be away for just a second and hopefully try and set everything up and get it all up so that I can actually be of service and enjoy the chat and pushing things forward. So that's even better. Listen to Mark. And I muted anyway. So we got Andrew, John, Oho, Jed. Nice to see everybody there. Jed, you're talking about it's so difficult to get information on this competition, which is frustrating to no end. And now my fix didn't move the chat over. Brendan, I know I set the setup yesterday, worked on it, trying to get the chat bot working because I wanted to get a little bit better control with having some other teams come over. I downloaded a new system. It updated. I tested it. It looked like it worked yesterday. And the only downside was once you do that, it caused a big kerfuffle. So I'm going to have to figure out that system. It's all technical glitches, and I'd like to say I'm proficient, but I'm not. Ooh, that was a big crossover. Trouble, trouble, trouble. Oh, and Andrew, see, there's my bot actually working. And I'm going to have to allow that. See, that's the problem. So stick with me as I work on the warts. I just wanted to be able to get some better control. And Andrew, you should have been able to make that. I don't know why. Because you guys should be at a different level that allows you guys to talk because you've earned your way through. Run forward here. Wrexham. Oh, good little ball. Didn't miss by much. Well, I see Brendan's here. He says these multiple links are confusing, and I'm with him. I wish I didn't have to do it. I just didn't have an opportunity. My system wouldn't allow me to connect to the stream. I had to connect through the account and put the damn thing together in a bloody quick hurry. The one that happened before, that was a byproduct of bad Wi-Fi. So that was a tech gremlin. I fixed that problem. Then I thought, let's fix the system. Last time I fixed the system here, I didn't have any issues, and I got all these new bells and whistles, and everything was good. So I tried to pick that up, and now I'm doing the opposite because I've got poor Andrew getting his messages moderated, which isn't the intention. So I'm gonna keep banging away to improve it and see where we can get with it. I'm just frustrated. The chat should be moving over into the embedded chat, and it's not, and that's a frustration for me. Thanks, John. I put a link there too, hoping that everybody comes over, and I'm going to have to clean things up. And I guess find a fake channel that I can run a live to and test all of these things out in advance. I think that's the only thing that I can do is have a fake channel. Because the only way you can connect and test things is by going live. And I don't want to go live on the channel and lose it. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on the game if everybody's watching. I've been trying to catch things that looks to be relatively equal to me so far. They had the size of this pitch, though, throws me off. Gonna see how. Cardiff with the possession. Yeah, and I've set this one up now through the actual system, and it doesn't connect the chat. Bugger me. Nothing ever goes well on a beautiful Sunday, does it? I'll go to here and see if this fixes the problem. Yeah, Jed, I'll probably take you up on that offer. You or Brendan or a couple of other people test the bot and a couple of things. I'd say that's what I've seen, John. Certainly chances both sides. I will say there was that one attack that I saw from, wow, way out came the goalie on that one. Lots of confidence there. There was that one thump that I saw by Cardiff that I went, holy, they've got another next level there with their pace. Stands look full on the sides. What's that going to be, 800, 900? Depending on how far around the standing room is around the rock. Well, it kind of ends over on that one side. Davis. I hope everybody's all got it all set up with the iPhone. I don't even dare with how my morning's been going. Was awesome. Something to look forward to if you watch the Welsh Beast. I was the first host on his sort of weekly review. Who's Arsenal and Man City? John. Fascinating stuff that I'm connected to my account and I can't get the chat over. Well, Andrew, I'll give you a little bit more update as I can, then maybe pay attention to what's going on. Yeah, it was actually a really good interview. It was supposed to be 10 to 15 minutes, and it ended up being way longer than that. I think I ended up taking up like a whole 30-minute session. It was a good little blast. I'm going to close some things down because it just seems like I'm laggy a bit. Tested the system and might have overcooked it. Going to end up with a free kick for Cardiff, 14.5 minutes in. Price. That's a solid Welsh name. That's the only Welsh name that I have. That's my line. Headed away nicely and able to clear. Jones. It's nice having already watched a game and being able to see, like, you know, when Pritchard's got the ball and Jones has the ball that through the midfield, there's some confidence there. Just over Cara Jones' head on the left-hand side. Cardiff has looked, you can correct me if I'm wrong, really good offensively coming up the field, but their back line, their midfield's left things open. Oh, header! It's right there. It was right there. Yeah, the game, it is on YouTube, Andrew Scorio. And they've got a Welsh link and an English link, so you can choose, pick your poison. And so this was supposed to be more for the chat, and we're definitely here for the chat, but was hoping to add a little bit of quality to it, and everything went to hell. Alex, how are you? It's nice to see you anyways. Enjoy the game. If you haven't got it, I should bring that up, or I don't even know if I changed it. No, I didn't bring the ticker up to get it on Scorio. Ball kicked up over the left-hand side. See, it looks like the Cardiff ladies have control when they're up and on the front foot, but as soon as we turn it the other way, they look far less confident in those touches. Absolutely, do your thing. I'm here for the entertainment and the chat, which I wish I could bring into the main screen. That's the whole purpose, but feel free to mute me if you need to. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I don't know if that was a foul. It looked like that was self-imposed. Well, okay. No, there was something in that challenge. Doran. Just keep on going. Oh, if she had that ball, that would have been awesome. Just step over and all the way forward. Doran, love it. Davies on the right. I will say that I'm with you, Brennan. The thing that I was surprised with is you make that big step up as a relegated club, and you get, especially against Cardiff, Cardiff Met and Swansea. I thought, are we going to be able to run with them? And there's been no doubt that the girls are in it. Oh, not a free kick. Engaged too much. Whoa. Nerve-wracking in the back. Way too hard, way too far. Is it actually on Sky as well, Jed? That's awesome. The only thing is I was hoping Scorio would get lots of love for being able to pick it up, right? Cover the heck out of it and get a whole bunch of links. If you haven't looked, what was interesting to me was it's 10, 11 times the number of viewers on the Wrexham Swansea match as there were on the other non-Wrexham match that Scorio covered. There's no promotion. They get European competition. So the Women's Football League, the Welsh Women's Football League, is ranked 41st in the world, which will give them one spot into the qualifying rounds for them to go through the battle and try and move up the UEFA Champions League. I'll have to bring up the name. Mackenzie Olden, you say? Because I don't have the Cardiff ladies. Oof. Trouble in the box. Good crack. Cleared away by Lovett. Well done. Price has looked good. And I'll be a little bit biased because that's obviously the family name that I've got and the connection that we've got. But Rosie Hughes off for a corner. Yeah, and you might get answers from other, if you are listening to me. Maybe I should be chatting more than I should be talking, or chatting to both. Is there anybody actually listening to me, or are you all listening to the game? Olden's off the bench, Andrew. Maybe I have to bring this up. And I'll have to go to a restream. Oof. It's just fascinating to me that if I go to restream, I don't connect. Oh, I know why. I'm a fool. There I am. Okay, perfect. So it is both. I'm not going to talk too much. I'll just add my 2 cents as far as chatting away because it seems like everybody has it. Ooh, that was a nice little move. All right, Andrew. All the way through. Dell's going to be able to go get that and collect it and settle it down and come the other way. Significant pressure there from the Cardiff women for probably the first time where it was that sustained. Just only got the 9 viewers today. A dedicated crew. But was trying to get the bot going and some little commands that would end up doing some fun little things, and they didn't seem to worry. So a draw between Cardiff Met and Aberystwyth. Oh, I'm gonna get that wrong. Aberystwyth. So a draw to stay top. A win puts you up there. Puts us up there all by ourselves. Oh, nice little back heel by Rosie. Back to Rosie. Oh, good little interplay. Couldn't get through, but Cardiff was there defensively. Certainly searching. And we're into it. Loving it. Loving it. MG? No, I'm not using Mark. I'm just using the regular broadcast. I don't dare change anything right now with the way that my setup is and the tech issues I've had this morning. So Andrew the Red, I thought it was deserved in the circumstances. I think it was a byproduct of a horrible giveaway. But yeah, I'm on Scorio. Eventually. And we'll see if I can get it right every other. I was looking it up on Google yesterday how to pronounce it. Aberystwyth. I hate being that guy who can't pronounce garbage. Well, I'm not saying Welsh is garbage. I'm saying my pronunciation is garbage. Should find the time just to take some Welsh classes. And we got a subscriber. Thank you to whoever joined. Howdy, Harrison. Yeah, it looked red all the way through to me. It was just that byproduct of everybody scrambling back like madmen. The referee just going and moving the ball back. Not quite this 2 feet forward. Quit being cheeky. Could have just left it. Didn't influence the game, but got to assert his authority. You can't give the ball away like that and then put us in trouble. Yeah, I don't know why he's moaning. That he ran right through him. Did he mean to? No. He was trying to panic and get back and scrambled over and just wasn't paying attention and ran through him. But still, I'm glad I'm not the only one then. Nah. I can't see Parky going back to Bradford. Why would he? Small club, unable to move up the ladder. He's got a promotion already. He's ahead on the schedule. He's got owners with money. Yeah, you'll have to phonetically put that into English for me because I'm not getting there, Andrew. Rosie just always finds a gap, doesn't she? That little nutmeg right through the legs. Whoop, free kick. It was late, reckless, substantive contact made. And here's a question for you guys, Andrew, and different teams. I mean, in North America, we have head coaches who focus solely on the coaching aspect of things. They don't touch the personnel. Are there any clubs in English football, Welsh football, that operate like that? Because it seems to me the coaches there have far more control of their actual personnel, not just the strategy and the roster. Dell there with the punch away, a good one. Big right footer coming, cleared away. All right, fortunate. Yeah, Jed could be a real problem, right? Because like the way that Bradford's been operating, they've got the capital, they've got the crowd, they've got the fans. But Mark Hughes just not able to get it done. But it's been their managers there for a while that haven't been able to get it done. So I was just wondering, is there somebody else other than the coaches that you look at? Is there a general manager that you can point and say their personnel decisions are wrong? Talking to the CEO, is there tapping up for managers? I just, it would have to be some sort of god awful gob of money, I think, because if I was Parky, there's absolutely no way I exchange Wrexham for Bradford unless it was for personal reasons or a whole lot of cash. If it's just a football related decision, Bradford is a slow burning dumpster fire that just can't figure out how to get a roster put together that's going to be a threat despite all of the wealth and resources that it has. Yeah, Andrew, and do those director of football sporting directors choose the personnel? Because if that's the case, then that's where Bradford fans should be pointing their frustration, right? Dell just looks so confident back there, doesn't she? Like, you watch so many goalkeepers, well, not so many, I guess we've only seen 3 at this level, get out of position. And she's just always in the right spot, always with the simple play. Well, it'll be fun to see. When do we play Bradford next? Not this Saturday, the following Saturday. So we'll probably get a taste of the new version of Bradford. Well, it's not only that; it's just you you've got a team with turnover of 20 million quid. That's like double anybody else in the league. Oh, that was a bad giveaway. And so if you're going to go where resources are, I get it. Bradford's got more resources than most, but they don't touch Wrexham's turnover. So again, it's got to be for personal reasons. Would be the only reason I'd end up looking at going back to Bradford. Family there, somebody ill, um, or a ginormous, ridiculous gob of money. Yeah, so not after the Saturday after the Salford game. Thanks for that one, John. A trap game that Bradford won because they'll be up for it, but it's going to be hard for the boys not to have their eyes on that Notts County game coming. I've really liked Price for them. Oh, Dell makes it look simple. Yeah, certainly the coaches are always influencing here. In most instances, some I question whether they actually do have much of a say. Uh, but obviously, you need to keep the coach happy so that they can build the type of team that they want. And there's that interplay. I just hadn't seen much of it. Most people, when they talk, Dell, big step up. No, darn. Stopped the first, couldn't stop the second, and I don't know what happened to whoever went down there. Karen Allen gets 2 attempts. Dell with the first one punched out right to her feet, and she's able to get it back in. Did you guys see what happened? It looked like she just fell. Over here and gets beat and just falls. Was that just because she was beat and flopped? That was the captain, Allen. I don't know what happened there. It's on Scorio. It's on the YouTube channel. If you just search for Wrexham, Cardiff City, Scorio, Sgorio, you'll be able to find it there. An international rugby player and a top flight player. Here we go. Direct answer. No, too much. And it is a good question. It is the very first time that the girls have been behind all season. But we're into it. We're still there. No give up. Well, good ball. Ooh. Miss Jones. Oh, Andrew, I got to get this figured out with the... Let me go to Stream Elements, and I'm going to shut off the bot for now so we don't have to accidentally moderate you. And Andrew got moderated as well. I'm curious if you guys are using caps or just their long messages. I thought I had the 239 chat bot. It was great TV. You know what? I've enjoyed all but the first episode of season number 2. The first episode was, I get they have to do a review and get caught up. It just didn't work for me. So chat view, spam filters. I'm assuming that it's going to be lengthy messages because I've looked at them. Yeah, so I've removed that feature. It's odd that you guys were supposed to be as regulars. Narrowed out. Okay. That should be better. Harrison, how many games have you had since he's been out? I thought it was just the one. Or did you have a game? It was the Tuesday game, the first one without Hughes? Big ball in. Oh, Rosie was right there, not able to bring it to her. Littlefoot misses it. Everybody's missing it. Cardiff on the run. Yeah, I could see that, Humphreys, for sure. It's just not the timing because they're not going to put an interim manager in for 2, 3, 4 months to see just in case Wrexham falls off the map and there ends up being some drama. Is that Pritchard? Too far. There we go. Turn it, go wide. You bet. My I can't call it FIFA anymore. My FA skills still there. FC skills, I guess. Well, Swindon, no joke with Swindon, right? Can't take it away from Bradford that they ended up getting the win. Swindon, are they on form or did they lose the one before that too? Yeah, so that's 2 in a row that they've lost, and they've only won 1 in their last 4. But I mean, we've seen them. That's no joke there. Manager changes always tend to light a fire under the players' butts because they know that the owners aren't happy. So it could be a short-term blip. Could be something substantive. Could be it was all Hugh's fault. I just don't see why anyone would take the opportunity to leave on balance. And this is me taking the hat off for a second. Just as a pure business decision, under contract for a club, 20 million turnover, player build, team built, selection made the way that I want it. I just can't see giving that up for any reason. If we're linking Parky to Bradford. But placebo effect, yeah, that's a good way to call it. And and Andrew's right. It could be the solution. It might not be the solution. We're not going to find out until they get 5 to 10 games in, and they may get another one once they find interim manager or otherwise, right? But it doesn't add a nice little wrinkle to the game on the 21st. Too many little giveaways in that final third. She's quick. Well done getting back there. Still a threat. What happened here? She just slipped. But then she laid there on the ground, needed to get her butt back up and get back into the play. For sure, Harrison. I look forward to it. Feel free to come on in and have a chat. I think we're usually pretty friendly and we get fans that are a little bit more expletive filled, enthusiastic. But no, it's always nice to get the other team's perspective on things. So feel free to join. Where are the red hordes? I don't know where the ladies are. Oh, trouble. Good knockaway by Dell to be able to save one there at the end. They may have been on the other channel that I lost, the other stream. And I did obviously get in late. I was hoping to run the video and do what I normally do 30 minutes before. But Carl, who's on the Welsh Beast, we were having too much of a good time. That was a long, just come on for 10 minutes. And then we sat there and really got into it. And we had a good 10, 15-minute chat session before we even got started. So, yeah, it looks like we'll probably end up doing that again. And I might bring him over on mine, figure it all out. So, SHD. Good ball. Oh, just not enough pace. Corner given, but Man, the view there. The vision. I'll have to bring that up. It was interesting talking to him because his videos, he's far more enthusiastic than I am. And we were joking about it, that he's kind of my inner voice. I wish I could be him, but I don't think me dropping enthusiastic words is something that my people who know what I do for a living would end up be happy with. So, across the front of face. So Welsh Beast is on YouTube at Welsh Beast. And so he did his very first invitation for somebody to end up joining him to review a match. I can bring that up here. Oh, 2 minutes of added time in the match. Not as much fire as that Swansea game, though, right? The Swansea game, man, the girls got stuck in early. Dell got it. Minute and a half. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to see if I can figure out this chat issue over the break, and bring it into the actual camera display thing rather than on the chat, which is what I normally use to watch things. It's weird to watch it on YouTube. I don't know what you guys typically do. Not much of a big issue. We don't have anybody from Facebook or Twitter or Twitch or anybody using today. Lily looped over. No fortunate. No, not fortunate. Looks like Cardiff just trying to get to the half here. Punting it back and forth. No pressure from us. Might just be another 20 seconds of time going down. Oh, turnover. Fortunate. No. Get a quick throw in and get one last run here. And that's it. The half. I'm going to take a break, see if I can figure out this chat issue, bring in the mob. I might have to actually message a tech guy and see if I can get him to connect and figure out what the hell's going on. So, anyways, upwards, onwards, I will be right back. And we're back. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be a process that I'm gonna have to put together here to figure out how to get the chat in. It's gonna take some time and some effort. Clean up the bot, add the little add-ons that I want to get. It'll just have to be a thing. And the key with this, with the Adrian League, Adrian Gennaro League, is to be in the top 4. That's the first step. You want to be in that battle because then that gives you 2 extra matches against all the other teams at the top to try to earn your way to the top of the table. The only prize is first place, and so you gotta do that. Win the league, play in Europe. That's the joy of the competition. But yeah, top 4 end up playing each other for 2 extra matches. Bottom 4 end up playing each other for 2 extra matches, and then just go from there. So it's been an interesting game because I will say I think Cardiff's been a little bit more threatening offensively when they've had the ball, but they've looked like they've got gaps in the defense that we can still exploit. So I'm not suggesting we're out of it. We just got to find a way to connect. But how awesome is it to be able to actually watch the games? That was a frustration last year, not being able to pick up a bloody thing. And I love that the halftime show is in Welsh. All right. Let's get into it. From left to right go the Wrexham Lasses. Right to left, Cardiff City. Not a good ball forward. And so, Brendan, I know Brendan's on the East Coast. Jed, might be tough to use you as somebody that I can cross-reference things and check out what's going on with the tech side of things with a secondary stream, only because it's so hard to get on at the same time as you guys in England with the 8-hour time difference. But it is Thanksgiving tomorrow, and I might have an opportunity to do that. Hopefully get things picked up. It looks like it's going to be a listening party only on Tuesday, and I don't know if I'm actually going to get a chance to do that game, only because work is absolutely nuts right now. But we'll see how far I can push through. So yeah, I'll send you a message, Brendan, and figure it out. It's the odd part to me is I know where it's supposed to be and how to link it, and it's not where it's supposed to be with this new setup that I've got. But I've got opportunities of potential like loyalty things and a way of tracking people and some games that happen in the chat and all that sort of stuff. Just a little bit of increased activity. Oh, big trouble. Breakaway. Dell's coming way out. She's made it. Can we get there? Oh, it's not looking good. Yeah. 2-0. It was the right play from Dell, I think, in the circumstances. That's going to be a tough one. Sorry, I don't know if Jed's in England or in Wales. My bad. UK. Horrible. I know better than that. And I know better than that because us Canadians hate getting called American. So I appreciate the difference. I just had a brain freeze. Well, let's get one back. That's the start. I'll be right back. We're burning something in the kitchen. Oh, no, we're not. Oh, yep, we are. No, we're not. Yeah, Andrew, I see that. My mistake. Always got to love the fire alarm going off. Here we go. Left side. I joined right at the right amount of time. Nah, too heavy touch. First touch. Obviously, as I think you guys are aware, had a condo fire June 22nd of 2022, and so my little one, he's a little bit sensitive to fire alarms still, so that took a little bit extra time, but nothing blown up, just a little bacon in the morning. Windows are all open, fans are now all running, but yeah, had to take a little bit of extra time to settle down the young man. All right, take the throw. Let's get moving here. Oh, wow, my clock is way off because I ran it all the way through the half. Just not paying attention today. Man, the pace difference. Cutter off, outside shoulders. No, well played, well played. I don't know where she was going with that. Nobody up there. Yeah, John, I'd be with you, but in that Swansea match, there always seemed like there was an opportunity. I'm trying to think of the last time we had a real crack on goal. The opportunities haven't been there recently, which is sort of somewhat concerning. You blew up a plate. Like in the microwave? How do you blow up a plate? Oh, trouble again, Dell there. It's on its way out. Quick throw. Keep him on the back foot. I've done bacon in the oven, but I also like the grease. And when you do it in the oven, you get less grease. I want to stop the heart a little bit. Fill the arteries up with the good stuff. They do have a pace advantage though up front, don't they? Oof. Far over. I was talking to somebody on Twitter about the match in the Roc, and they were actually the debate was, do we support the women's program really when Des, the owner of the Druids, killed the club, and their position was that the rent payment. What was that? When Wrexham decided to give the Roc and Des the rent payment, that it was shortly thereafter that he killed the Druids and just took that opportunity. I don't see that being a smart business decision because leases are always temporary. And so when you end up having a temporary payment, I just don't think that that's what you're going to end up holding off and relying on. You're going to keep the club going if you have the opportunity. There's got to be something else going in the background. You don't invest all the money that you do to improve the stand and the pub and the stuff that's at the Roc. So I don't quite get the logic. But what I don't understand is why can't the women play their Sunday matches at the racecourse? Even if there's only one stand that's filled, even if you're not going to fill the whole barn. We own the park. Is it that the grass is going to get destroyed, but from overuse? Because you'd think you'd be able to get at least 2 per week on the ground. And even if you're scheduling a home and away so that they're a week apart, it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks since we played Mansfield away, we played Crawley away. They just said on the headset that she's unavailable due to injury. So, and that is a substantial loss. Corner floated in. It's down. Well taken by the goalie. Out there, no fear. That was a good take. It is pitch maintenance. That's fascinating to me that the pitch can get that questionable. I guess, you know what? Probably not now, but maybe in the winter when the rain's a little bit more heavy in Wales. But you think you'd be able to maximum. What would the maximum be? I guess you'd have to reschedule some of the games so that you didn't have 3 in a week, but you'd think you'd be able to get 2. Yeah, so 8 days if you have, then you have the game today, and then you're back on Tuesday, I guess. And I never checked. Is it a home game or no? It's a away game against Crew. But I can see a circumstance where, you could have 2 games within a 4-day cycle, and that might be too much for the grass. But it'd be preferable to have it there than somewhere else than at the Roc, I would think. Uh-oh. That was a bad take. Price has had the pace. Price has had the passing, but that's like her second or third shot that I've seen that's gone way over. Lots of pace on the ball when she strikes it, but just another one that's too much. Has to be the only thing I can think of is too hard on the pitch, because it sure would be advantageous to have, then you get the benefit of all the ticket sales. You save on whatever you're paying for the lease costs. Yeah, Andrew, I was looking at that. I'd be curious what it would be worth. The Druids' financial records from 2019 state that the value of that land was over £1 million. And I thought, the only thing that I have to compare it to is the race course sold for just over 2 million, didn't it? The freehold. Can she get it? Is it going in? Not enough, knocked away. Bugger. I love how it looks, that facade over there. But it'll be interesting to see. We need a category, and I forget the name, but for the academy, we need to have a certain level of quality pitch. And if we're not able to find it, whether we look, that header just didn't make it. Oh boy. Well, we have to have a training facility for the academy, for category 3. And that's what they've been working to try and secure. And that's the biggest holdup for us moving to a category 3 academy. And I haven't heard anything other than what was sort of bantied about in the summertime and references to it in the documentary. But one would think they signed a long-term lease. Now, I don't know if that's 2 years or more than 2 years. Seems to be. But I would think that if you could get a facility that would host some of the women's matches and maybe get the odd one at the race course, and have your academy playing at the different facilities at your training ground, that would be the optimal outcome. Well, and what was the North Welsh rugby league team that was there that played for a number of years? Because they played some of their matches at the race course, didn't they? The Crusaders? And I know that a lot of the fans had an issue with the rugby league team sharing the grounds, but that's also added revenue, right? If you're able to make it work. In this case, it's not added revenue if you bring the women in, it's to save on expenses. I'm sure that Fleur and the gang have considered all of these sorts of things, but it did seem like an odd thing to put in a long-term lease for the Roc, and without it being your facility that you were going to use for your training. More than just being the rugby league, Andrew? Or just, like, was that an ownership issue? And because they were on at about the time, you have to remember, in Canada, we had the Toronto Wolfpack that played in that rugby league, the first ever transatlantic professional sports club that earned its way up to the Super League in rugby league. Yeah, and the issue is with the academy, when you want to move it up to category 3, 3, 2, 1, you've got to have it within close enough proximity for training ground to where kids are living and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot to consider. Czechoslovakia. Czechia. They don't even go by, they've been going by the Czech Republic for more than a decade. Now they've swapped to Czechia to go with Slovakia. Interesting. If I ever get that academy video finished, I mean, I haven't gone through the grounds options. I've been going through the roster stuff, and it's a massive work in progress. I hope the video gets some views, because trying to get that thing together has been a labor of frustration. I'd like to say labor of love, but lots of rules in that thing. Too many rules, I think. But it's a key component. I mean, you look at Crew Alexandra, the only reason why, and Crew fans might disagree with me, the only reason Crew Alexandra is in the EFL is because of the strength of its academy. They've got to be the best non-Category 1 academy in English football. And for Wales, we can start to pull those Northern Welsh players over, and maybe even some from Northwest England, to come over and play. There's a real opportunity there, and I'm hoping they can figure out the academy grounds and get they've got some of the staff in place, but it's just for a Category 4, which really need to get to Category 3 to do anything that we want to do as far as long-term development. Rugby league, it's a funny sport, man. It's the professional. What happened there? Extra ball came in, so they kick it to the sideline, and then they say, okay, that's a giveaway, and so now Cardiff is going to take it back. Why wouldn't he just blown it down and said, John got a message retracted. I just deleted the bot. And I hope you weren't banned, John. I'm going to have to go to my... subscribers. I'm weakening all of my chatbot stuff again just to make sure you guys can do what you want to do. All right, so that should be a little bit better. Yeah, and they just announced it was hockey 2 years ago or a year and a half ago that they no longer wanted to be referred to as the Czech Republic. They preferred to be called Czechia. So it was just odd to hear Czechoslovakia get announced on the broadcast. Just nothing really going forward yet, although we've been in that sort of midfield stripe to 30 yards out for quite a while, just kind of back and forth. All right, find something into the box here. Nope, bad pass. Yeah. No, not enough oomph on the ball. Trouble. Advantageous. Oh, you retracted it. Okay. Oh, well, I made the bot a little softer. And then hopefully I can get that cleaned up. I just don't know what your thoughts are, guys, too, on the listening party on Tuesday. Do we sit and have the chat again? I'm happy to make it available. it's just so hard to do because I don't have any insight as to what's going on in the game. It's basically the only purpose is to end up having the chat and a way for us all to connect, which I'm happy to do. Come on, Rosie. 1-on-3, looking for somebody. This is where you miss Littlefoot. Oh, just missed. Just needed Littlefoot up there to... Andrew's up for a listening party. Okay, good stuff. And I said little. Lightfoot. Lightfoot. I knew that wasn't right. Header away, came down awkwardly on our left. Turf monster. Brendan, that might be an option for sure to pitch in. I may have to be in the office on Tuesday. I don't know yet. It kind of depends on what happens tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see who we throw out for that game on Tuesday as well. I mean, I have zero cares what happens in the trophy. So I could see Young drawing back in to at least get him some time. I think Mark Howard's going to get his shot in goal. But I think you end up looking for some more experienced players. And one of the things I was wondering was, even though Waters isn't in the squad, I think he's passes for having played enough games in the last 3 years that I think you can actually play him and he qualifies as a player. That wouldn't break the rules of you'd have to satisfy such a requirement of a quality requirement of people who have experience playing. So we may end up actually seeing him get a run out. Yeah, Waters says, yeah, McFadden. Has Ozana played enough, though? First team games in the last 2 years to qualify? I don't know if we can see Ozana. McFadden, maybe. I think McFadden would qualify. I went on Sky Bet to see what trophy games they were watching. And the trophy, unless Sky's got it on TV, such that DAZN picks it up, it won't be there. Or ESPN Plus. So I haven't checked DAZN to see what they've got. But usually before going to DAZN, the easiest thing to do is find out which games are going to be picked up for trophy matches covered in England, and those matches are then correspondingly picked up in the US and in Canada. She may have little feet. Now the problem is what did I call her? I called her Littlefoot instead of Lightfoot. Yeah, so. What's interesting to me is their other striker. They've got Lily Whitefoot, Amber Lightfoot, and those are names that I recognize as being traditional Cree names. When I grew up in Saskatchewan, were Lightfoot, Whitefoot, Littlefoot, and so I don't anticipate that that's the connection, but I did find that interesting. That's a good ball. Wow. Fortunate there. Dell didn't quite get a punch on that. Thumped away. Well done by Rosie to control it. Up the field. Everybody go. Not much from Spearing. Kehoe's looked really good. Already on 2, slid by there. I'm curious, is she on the Welsh national team? I'm assuming. And they're going to talk about it right now. Maybe they'll answer the question for me. Oh, Cayman Islands. Played club level in the U.S. Good old CONCACAF. See, I need you there for the trivia, Andrew. John, I know I got it wrong. I said Littlefoot and then I went Lightfoot. Wrong. It was horrible of me. I'm having that kind of day. Fire alarms, bad chat. Note to self: stay focused and do my research a little bit before I jump on. All players are eligible. I think they're eligible, but there's the hat trick. Nope, that was Price. Misplayed. I'm going to have to go back to my cup video, because in my cup video, I reviewed the stats, and you had to have a certain number of players who had played previously. Almost the same, essentially the same rules as the cup. At least I think that they apply to the trophy, but I'll have to go back to that video and have a look before Tuesday. That was bad. Sloppy. I'd like to see them dig in here and just get stuck in for the rest of the match. Oh, saw that one fall right before Kehoe and went, oh no. There's well, it's a long season. And if I was Cardiff City, I would be showing a lot more favor, especially as a mum, because the only reason Cardiff City is semi-professional is because Wrexham led the way. They had all the opportunity. So the fact that their girls playing some ball and potentially under a contract and earning some money for it is because of the girls in red. And I do think that the balance, I was hoping that it just would be top four. That's what I set for the standard for Wrexham this year. You've got three teams that have dominated with Cardiff Met, and Swansea. Well cleared. And so with those three teams, you hope that you can sneak in fourth, you can build up, you can find out where your quality is, and you get another opportunity to build things. And hopefully the fans in Wrexham continue to demonstrate that we should be bringing in players in, that we can afford to load up the women's side as well. You've got an international mob that's willing to throw some capital and watch and stream and increase ad revenue and all those sorts of things. So, yeah, Woody, I'm with you there. But I do think that there's certainly an opportunity for some growth and improvement. You have to think, to move all the way up and be top four in the league in the women's division, that's a good place to be. Might be indicative of a 41st coefficient ranking of the Welsh women's program, but the fact that the clubs are semi-pro now, or three of them, there's an opportunity for more focus. I think everything's roses for Wales right now. Yeah, and we are top four, and that's the goal, is finish the first, 14 games? Finish those in the top four. Aberystwyth. I think the most interesting team as a challenge to that fourth spot, just looking at the numbers, is maybe New Saints more than Aberystwyth, because New Saints has been hot and cold. And when they're on, they seem to be in competition with the top teams, the top three, and when they're off, they're way off. So if they're able to find their form and maintain it, they might have a chance to challenge for sure. When was the last loss for the women? Was it the playoff game 2 years ago? That's a good ball. That's a really good ball. Horrible first touch. How did that happen? Yeah, I kicked that away in frustration. That wasn't very good. I would accept seventh, but I'm hoping for fourth. I should look up how if we're able to pick up that Wales match. The only issue is Canada actually has games this window. There have been problems with Canada soccer, and we've been giving up opportunities to play here for far too long. Yeah, I don't think they lost one, or they lost last year either. So I think it goes all the way back to their playoff game the year before. The good old NFL. Once I got back into rugby, when mostly league, to be fair, I've fallen off of. I can't watch a sport where it's 17 to 19 minutes of action in a 3-minute series. Floated in. Oh, it was right there. Not able to collect. I used to love my Sundays with watching the NFL. And now I do my Saturday college after the Wrexham match is over. And that's it. Disappointed that the NFL hasn't put a club in Toronto. But I guess with the Buffalo Bills, maybe no need to do that. You don't think he's going to get a shot in that Gibraltar game, Andrew? I know he's on standby, but if there was ever a game to bring him into, a friendly in the race course, that would be it. The CFL and the NFL are too different, though. CFL 3-down football, you allow motion. You've got different kicking rules, no yards instead of fair catches. They're quite different games. Would the CFL allow it? I don't think they'd have a say. The people that go to CFL games are the diehards who end up loving the different rules. That's the one thing that Canada has done well, is set up sort of a niche game that's very different. And they don't play on. They play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, rather than just on the scheduled one on a Thursday, one on a Monday, and then the rest on Sundays. So I don't think the CFL would be that impacted by an NFL club being there. The Argos would be, but the Argos get crap attendance anyway unless they're good. It's the most fair weather sports team, maybe in the world, is the Toronto Argonauts. Is when they're doing well, they'll sell 30,000, 35,000, and when they're doing poor, they'll be lucky to get 1,500. Yeah, it was just my only hope. Did I watch the Wolfpack in real life? Yeah, I did. Actually, in Leeds, I went and watched. They had a doubleheader when they opened. Castleford played Leeds. No, we played Castleford, and then Leeds played somebody else in a back-to-back series. That was the year that we had to start our home games on the road. Flutie was the best player ever out of the CFL, like the best player to ever come out of the CFL and make their way through. Yeah, the Wolfpack went bust. It was COVID and just a complete unfair setup. Like they said to the Wolfpack, if you want to play in the English League, that's fine. You're going to pay the cost to fly everybody over. You're going to have to play half of your home games in England just because of the setup. So we'd have to rent a facility and then try to make it up. And then when COVID hit, it was too much. And then the pay started to fall apart and the creditors started calling and the Wolfpack went bust. And it's too bad because to watch the flat cappers in Northern England lose their minds to have a North American club coming over and getting stuck in, there were a lot of people who were not okay with it. A lot of the same sort of a Welsh team shouldn't be playing an EFL mentality was there and present involving the Toronto Wolfpack. So it's a sentiment that I've become accustomed to in dealing with the English. Just too many missed passes, like that pass right there, just too far back. Heavy first touches, bad passes. That was something we didn't see in the Swansea game. Don't get me wrong, Cardiff has outclassed us on their go forward, but we're not helping ourselves. It's interesting they say the gap is closing, and it might for this year, but I just can't see it happening unless Aberystwyth and Pontypridd and Barrytown end up going semi-pro. If you look at the quality of the players, if you're a girl who's a woman who wants to play football, you're going to go somewhere where you can get paid to do it a little bit, right? Help out and be able to focus on your craft, focus on your art, focus on the game a little bit more. And you have that opportunity. As I understand it, there's only 3 clubs that are semi-pro, and that's Wrexham, Cardiff City, and Swansea. I don't know if Cardiff Met's going to be able to hang, because while they have the structure there, obviously being a university, I don't know if they're going to be able to if they're going to pay their players, and if they don't, that's an awkward. Is that a cramp? Yeah, that's a cramp. Yeah, Maurice. Well, let's be fair. There is a segment of the English population that just hates all things non-English, right? So North Wales Crusaders, Wrexham, the Toronto Wolfpack, Newport County, Cardiff, Swansea. It just is what it is. I mean, it's one component of the English community that I don't understand, because England's fame was going out to the rest of the world, but it's one of those things. We'll go out to the rest of the world, but don't dare come home. And it's that mentality that I struggle with. I mean, hell, I go over there, I still get called a colonial, right? Woodwork. I don't know how that didn't go in. Woodwork Dell, woodwork off. Interesting. You think it's nonsense that there's going to be players that are going to go more to the amateur side? I don't think it's going to happen immediately, but I think in 5 to 10 years, a miss hit. I think in 5 to 10 years, the structures are going to be in place, and there's going to be confidence in going to those semi-pro teams. Yeah, Andrew, I find it fascinating. A nationalistic country that was built on going out and sharing its virtue, in quotation marks, to the world. But when you talk to, like, one of the things that we're dealing with in Canada, and I'm sure in the United States as well, like the residential school system stuff, and the English policy that now then became Canadian policy, weren't good people that came over to and explored the rest of the world, and trying to figure out what all that meant. And I think it still happens with, you look at the British Museum or in London, it's full of things that probably shouldn't be there. Odell just got wiped out there by a shoulder charge, diving for the header and just hammered her right in the chest. I'm getting too political. Well, that's an interesting rule that might preserve them. So I wasn't aware of that. I just thought that if they were student focused, but you're going to be dealing with young kids that are certainly capable. If I was, I guess here's the follow-up question is, do they give them scholarship or free tuition to play for Cardiff Met? Because if I was a 21-year-old talented player and I had the opportunity to go and play semi-pro in Wrexham and go to Wrexham University rather than to Cardiff Met, would I take that as an opportunity? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch the sports governance side of women's football develop over the next couple of years. And I think for Wales, the fact that it's 41st in the coefficient in Europe, you'd expect Wales to be much higher than that. I would anyway. As a foreigner in North America, I'd expect the women's game to be more competitive than that. And so I think they're on the path for it. And I think the semi-professional nature of things and the focus and things like this is going to develop it. So we'll see in the coming years. But anybody but England fans? And I can't be that. I mean, my kids have British or English passports. My wife is from Yorkshire. So I certainly have an affinity for all things England. But just as I'm critical of Canada, for some of the nonsense that we do here in sports governance, politically and otherwise, neither England nor Wales are perfect, and it's just fun getting into debates with people who don't understand the history stuff. Look, that was a rough game. I'm not gonna lie. Had a rough start to it on the text side. Brendan, I'm probably going to be in touch with you at some point in time to see if I can figure out this chat issue. It's not going to be this afternoon. I'm going to take the kids and we're going to have a big family dinner and do our thing. So happy Thanksgiving to any other Canadians that are here. Enjoy going back to work for everybody who's not. You can rub it in when you guys have your day off in the US in November. So I'm just going to pause to read Andrew's. The issue will be bigger. And I guess you say issue as though it sounds to me like you have faith in the academic passport, British passport, sorry, not an English passport. United Kingdom passport, do I have to go that far? A blue one with the nice little, because you guys don't, or black one now, you guys don't have the red ones anymore. When you say issue, Andrew, do you say issue in the sense that it's you prefer to have the universities leading the charge with the programming for women's football or otherwise through the scholarship system, or is it? Do you see those bigger clubs getting to be so focused that now you've got top heavy and nobody else able to catch up, and now you've forced a divide because of the finances? Because that's an interesting consideration. I would like to think that as the game develops, the teams that can't go semi-pro right now, maybe the new Saints, well, I guess they don't necessarily qualify, wrong location, but Aberystwyth, Pontypridd, Barrytown, that they could jump into being semi-pro and everybody benefits from that share of the revenue. That would be the hope. Yeah, interesting. It's one of those things. It's an interesting dynamic that we run into in North American sport compared to English sport, with the influence of capital that you guys get from private investment. Like the FA being a national sport organization that is, I know it calls itself non-profit, but really runs the Premier League, and it's all about money, money, money. And you question whether the grassroots is being adhered to. You flip the switch, you look at Canada Soccer, USA Soccer, which are, true non-profits, don't have all those resources. And there's different problems there. Is the absence of professionalism, at least in Canada Soccer, hurts us when we've got players that are there. So no real mechanism, but it's amazing to me how much sports governance influences the strength of the game. And I don't think anybody's doing it right, but I think there are people that are close. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I appreciate the dozen or so of you that were here. I apologize for the hiccups. It was brilliant having the chat. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys appreciate this as a mechanism upwards and onwards. So close to the 4,000 viewing hours, which just leaves one more thing to end up being able to add more bells and whistles, and hopefully as I add them I end up with less gremlins like I'm getting them. But I'm learning as we go along here. There's a lot to this whole thing. Filling out tax information for YouTube, jeepers, not what I anticipated doing, but it's a fun little thing, and I'm looking to continue to grow and dump more toys and more things and more promotion and more videos, and just see if we can continue to build our nice little community that we have. So Andrew, Oho, Brendan, John, Maurice, to all of you, I appreciate you. Thanks, guys. And yeah, Tuesday I'll connect with Brendan. If you see the link, then we're doing it. I'm leaning towards setting it up, but it might have to be Brendan leading the charge. So I'm sure we'll have a chat here and figure that all out. Okay, thanks, guys.